Casey's biggest hits.
6 years ago this week, back in 1989, one of the biggest hits in the USA was Get On Your Feet by a superstar who recently said her life on tour may be at an end because she doesn't want her new daughter to grow up with an absentee mother. I'll have details and that big hit after this.
You've tapped into the hit zone, American Top 40 and Shadoe Stevens. And now we're up to the woman who brought herself back from the emotional brink. She's 32-year-old Gloria Estefan. Gloria grew up in Miami. Her father was a Cuban exile who served in the U.S. Army in Vietnam, where he contracted a nerve disease. Teenaged Gloria would nurse him every day after school, and then in 1980 her father died. She says it made me very, very introspective. I had to find meaning in my life. They say statistically suicides among teenagers are very prevalent, and a lot of people don't understand it, but I can understand it, because it was very difficult to see my father slowly deteriorating like that. So I had to really go inside to find some kind of anchor for my life and for my own psychic well-being, something that would keep me sane. And for Gloria, that anchor in her life was music. She says it was a way for me to let out all my emotions and all my frustrations and all the things I was feeling and all the sadness in my life. I felt like I was carrying the burden of the whole world on my shoulders. So Gloria threw herself into music. And she met the man who's now her husband, Emilio Estefan, and they went on to form Miami Sound Machine. After 9 top 40 hits with the machine, her first solo hit is at number 4 this week on American Top 40. Here's Don't Want to Lose You by Gloria Estefan.
Sometimes it's hard. Number 24.
Moving up 6 notches, here's Gloria Estefan, who says there's a reason she specializes in sad ballads. People identify with bittersweet songs, she says, songs in which things aren't always perfect. Well, in this song of sad love, Gloria sings about closeness and then the pain of separation.
Number 24.
Falling 10 notches is a superstar who's turned down many an opportunity to be in the movies. She says that's because the scripts she's been sent have been pretty strange. One even would have had her starring as a vampire. Here's Gloria Estefan with Coming Out of the Dark.
Hi, I'm Gloria Estefan from Miami Sound Machine, and I want to welcome all the troops that have come back already, and tell the ones that are still waiting to come back that we're waiting for you with open arms, and we're very proud and happy of the job that you guys did. So come on back real soon, and remember, we all love you very much.
Casey's Top 40.
From Hollywood, this is Casey Kasem. Falling a notch to number 38 is Gloria Estefan, a singer who says her degree in psychology helped her get better after a near-fatal accident last year. She says recovery took discipline, and that comes straight from the mind. This week, she's singing about an emotion that comes straight from the heart, love. Here's Gloria Estefan and Can't Forget You. There's a singer who works out 90 minutes a day, whether she's at home or on the road. Gloria Estefan rising a notch to number 37 with Can't Forget You.
Casey's Top 40.
Climbing 5 notches to number 30 is a singer who admits that even she has sometimes mispronounced her own name. Here's Gloria Estefan.
Music. Down in Colombia, South America, when Gloria Estefan slapped on a sombrero and belted out a Colombian dance standard for over 60,000 fans at a concert, it would be an understatement to say they went wild. The local newspaper El Tiempo said, "Never before has an artist captured the hearts of so many Colombians. This was the best show ever." Oh, that's a review.
Casey's Top 40.
I'm Casey Kasem. Now, when Gloria Estefan and her family fled Cuba back in 1960, Miami gave her a safe haven. And in the wake of Hurricane Andrew, she's doing the same for Miami's homeless. It's been a month since Hurricane Andrew roared through South Florida. After the howling wind and driving rain died down, rescuers found thousands of homes destroyed, billions in property damage, 250,000 people homeless. Superstar singer Gloria Estefan was one of the lucky ones. All that was damaged on her luxurious Miami estate was the landscaping. In the first days following the disaster, Gloria toured the hardest-hit areas, and the total devastation all around the singer touched her deeply. Her thoughts raced back to 1960. She was 3 years old at the time, and her family was seeking refuge after having left Cuba. She remembered how the people of Miami made her feel so very welcome, and she decided to return the favor. She said, quote, "I've got a roof, I've got space. Let's do something to help." So she rounded up some volunteers and turned her office into a distribution center for donated food, water, and clothing. And Gloria didn't stop there. She got on the phone to Comic Relief, and together they organized a big benefit concert set for Miami this weekend. Joining Gloria on stage are big entertainment stars like Whoopi Goldberg, Paul Rodriguez, Dionne Warwick, John Cicada, Crosby, Stills and Nash, and many more. Even the Miami Dolphins are pitching in. And that's our report on the wonderful work being done by Gloria Estefan and lots of other big stars to help the victims of Hurricane Andrew. Now, on with the countdown.
Casey's Top 40.
Falling 6 notches to number 31 is one of Miami's newest restaurateurs. Here's the owner of the restaurant called Lario's on the beach.
Casey's Top 40.
Hi, this is Casey Kasem. Well, we said it before, and we'll say it again. A great song is a great song forever. And this week, Gloria Estefan proved it for us with her new single. It's a remake of Turn the Beat Around, a huge disco hit in 1976 for Vicki Sue Robinson. Now will Turn the Beat Around turn into another big hit for Gloria Estefan? We'll find out as we count down all the biggest hits in the USA on Casey's Top 40.
Next is Gloria Estefan at 26 with her latest hit, Turn the Beat Around. It's from the film The Specialist, and typically her video combines scenes from the movie with new scenes shot with Gloria in downtown Miami.
It was a very unique experience doing the video for Turn the Beat Around. They wanted action, so it involved 2 helicopters flying around and being at the top of the SunTrust building in the middle of downtown, which is 47 stories high. I'm glad it wasn't done a few years ago. I used to be afraid of heights. I think it would have been very difficult at that time. I've overcome that fear since then, but it was still exciting. I mean, those helicopters hovered very close. You could feel the wind intensely at the top of that building. But it just creates such a unique look. You know, no one has shot from up there. The view of the city is spectacular. The director is wonderful, and his editing was magnificent.
Back to back.
Beat to beat.
What you say? Back to back.
Beat to beat.
Say what?
American Top 40.
An American Top 40, Gloria Estefan, and a song that's on her album of favorite oldies, Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me. Gloria told us she took a slightly different approach, working in the studio during the instrumental and vocal parts, not unlike the way she did with her album of Latin music, Mi Tierra.
This album we felt was important to do live because the music of the 60s really reflected that. The arrangements, at that time technology was not what it is today. Programming was practically unheard of. And it had a very special flavor that I don't think works the same if you try to take these songs and program them, because they had a lot to do with just emotion. So we actually went into the studio and cut a lot of these tracks live, which is what we had done with Mi Tierra. And it worked out so well. We wanted it to carry over. Definitely a lot of emotion gets through that way. And you also bounce ideas off each other, and it's just a certain magic happens when everybody's together at one time. It's the creative flow, everybody having ideas, and you tend to get a lot of new things that happen that probably wouldn't happen if it's just 1 or 2 guys involved in programming and performing the music.
American Top 40.
It's AT40, Shadow. And next at number 37, Gloria Estefan's remake of Vicki Sue Robinson's disco hit from the 70s, Turn the Beat Around. It's on the soundtrack from the Sylvester Stallone, Sharon Stone movie, The Specialist. And that film was special for Gloria's producer-musician husband, Emilio Estefan.
Well, Emilio made his acting debut as a piano player in one of the shots, one of the opening shots of the movie, where they're panning across a sly, making a phone call from South Beach, and they pan through one of the clubs, and Legalia, one of the new singers that Emilio signed that's on this soundtrack, is singing, and Emilio's back there playing the piano. So he got his own trailer. We were behind the scenes. It was a lot of fun.
Casey's Top 40.
I'm Casey Kasem. These are the most popular songs in the USA. And dropping 6 notches to number 36, this is pet lover Gloria Estefan, a singing star who keeps 7 pets in her home in Florida, 5 dogs and 2 wallabies, small kangaroos. And Gloria always tries to give her pets what she sings about in this song, everlasting love.
Casey's biggest hits.
6 years ago this week, back in 1989, one of the biggest hits in the USA was by a superstar who recently said her life on tour may be at an end because she doesn't want her new daughter to grow up with an absentee mother. Gloria Estefan says that one of her biggest regrets is that she was on the road so often when her son Naib was growing up. And she promised the same thing wouldn't happen to her baby daughter, Emily Marie. After years of touring, Gloria is putting that part of her career on hold, and she'll only go into the studio to record if she can take her daughter with her. Gloria says, simply speaking, given the choice between her career and her family will win every time.